Hello and welcome to Sangoma Society. My name is Uhani Wagamakwakwa Ngingumakosi Unomaboto Msamo, and this is Sangoma Society, where we aim to demystify the ancestral. This season is all about self-care, and it's coming to you from the Maldives. Today's episode, I'd like to speak about showing up for yourself. You know, we have so many theories on what self-care looks like. There's so many theories on what it looks like to show up for yourself. And I'll tell you why it's important that you show up for yourself and why all these theories kind of flourish the way that they do. Well, when you show up for yourself, the universe shows up for you. It feels as though everybody gets the memo that this is the person who we're here for. When we show up for ourselves, we give the universe and all the energies in the multiverse permission to show up for us too. And I don't just mean the ancestors. I mean money. I mean love. I mean respect. There's so much that's out there that's just waiting for us to show up. And what does showing up look like? Well, it's not going to look the same for everybody, right? For me, showing up is just getting out of bed, sitting on my bottom, and starting the meditation some days. Especially when I'm traveling. When I'm at home, showing up means waking up and going to Msam. It's my first stop in the morning. I pray. I commune with the Spirit, then with myself. Following that, I give myself time to wake up to my day. For me, showing up for myself has meant getting my nails done. Showing up for myself has meant going on holiday, putting that special dress on, taking myself on dates. I love a good date. And I love a little quality time by myself, to be fair. It's definitely a personal thing. It's a personal preference. I love to spend time with myself. Buying flowers for yourself. We're so good at saying what we expect other people to do for us, but I don't know if we do it for ourselves. Set the standard for yourself. Just set the standard where you want it to be. Don't think, oh my gosh, I've heard where people say, oh no, you can't do too much, because if you do too much, then you'll be overqualified. It's like when, oh, you can't have a PhD. If you have a PhD, you won't find a job. They say you can't, as a woman, buy a house, buy a car, because once you do that, there's no man who's going to step to you. You set the standard. This is the bare minimum that he has to be offering. You're showing up for yourself, right? And what does all this have to do with the ancestors? Well, you know, you can teach them to show up for you too. Uthi mawuphahla ucela okuthize, and then you set the standard. It becomes who you are. And believe you me, there is no way you're going to imagine or desire something for which you do not possess the potential. There's somebody somewhere out there, a celestial being whom you've made an agreement with as a guide, an ancestral being perhaps, whom you've made an agreement with as a guide. Either way, those beings, they're there and they're capable of assisting you through the multiverse. And you can show up for yourself. When you don't really feel like it, and you wish that, oh my God, I wish I had somebody here to do whatever for me. That's when you know exactly what it is that you should be doing to show up for yourself. It's too easy to delegate your happiness. And because it's so easy, everybody does it. Everybody says, oh my gosh, my husband, my boss, my job. You think you're doing something when you delegate it out and blame your husband, your job, your wife, your children for your unhappiness. But what's actually happening is that you are failing yourself. You're failing yourself because you know what you deserve, but you're not able to give it to yourself. And now, there's many reasons why you might not be able to give it to yourself. People often say, oh, I just don't have the time. I just don't have the money. But when we generally go a little bit deeper into these matters, whether it be in consultations, strategy sessions, what it comes down to is often something much more painful than time or money. Often the reason why we're unable to show up for ourselves is because we secretly believe that we're not worth it. So we say, I don't care about fashion. I've never been into makeup. Skincare is not really my thing. You know? Because we're trying to protect a part of ourselves that's been hurt before. And that's valid. That is completely valid. You're allowed your protection. Absolutely. You deserve to protect yourself. Nobody has to suffer unnecessarily, inevitably. That's just cruel. That is just cruel. However, at some point, we have to go back to those wounds that we're trying to protect ourselves from experiencing again. And we've got to say, how can I heal this? Because the honest truth is that it's actually holding me back. That means the easiest way to establishing a way for you to show up for yourself is if you are able to engage with your healing. Can you commit to your healing so that you can show up for yourself? Because I'm sure that your higher self is wearing something spectacular. When you visualize your highest self, your most manifested self, the self that presents herself or themselves to you, when you imagine yourself at full flight, does that self not care about clothes? Does that self not care about gym? Does that self not care about food and health? Because if that self looks healthy, has a glowing complexion, is wearing a stunning brow, has gorgeous hair, something beautiful on their body, that means that your higher self cares. So why can't you admit that you do too? There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with caring. It's human to care. And it's human to be hurt. But we have to be honest. We have to be honest and say that we're hurt. We can't pretend that we're not. Because the more that we pretend that we're not hurt, the more we just carry on carrying that pain everywhere we go. Is that what you want for your life? The minute you show up for yourself, everything in the universe is driven to show up for you too. Even your ancestors. Your ancestors know who you really are. But they can bare minimum you too. They're people at the end of the day. Don't bare minimum yourself. You'll end up opening up a entirely different experience of your life, from the universe. You don't want that. Give yourself the best that you can. Give yourself the time that you deserve. Give yourself the things that you deserve. Show up for yourself. I promise you, when you do, absolutely everything will change. My name is Hani Makwakwa. I am Hani Tell a Story on all social media platforms. Ngingumakhosi uNomabuto Emsamu. And this is Sangoma Society, where we demystify the ancestral. This season is all about self-care, and it's coming to you from the Maldives. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. If there's something you want to know about how to show up for yourself, and I haven't really covered it in this episode, please pop the question in the comment section below. However, keep in mind, if your question is stretching a bit longer than say 2 sentences, it's more likely that it's too personal to be able to be deciphered in a platform like YouTube. So feel free to make a booking with myself or any other healer with whom you feel resonance, and get some guidance and some clarity on where you are with yourself and where you are with your ancestors. When we heal ourselves, we heal our bloodlines, we heal all those who will come after us, and we heal all those who have come before us. So please, take the time to consider how you can show up for yourself. You deserve it. You're worthy of it. This is Sangoma Society. I am Hani Tell a Story. Ngingumakhosi uNomabuto Emsamu. Please continue joining me for the journey. Subscribe, share, like, tell me what you think about this video. Ask away.